Now I request editor the Dharitri and the Odisha Post, Sri Tathagata Satpathy, to give his keynote address.
नमस्कार, प्रणाम, जोहार। प्रथमे धन्यवाद देवी डॉक्टर सामंत को, अच्युत बाबू को। निरंजन बाबू तो इंग्लिश रे पकईदे से टे डिविएट कर जाऊँगी। प्रथमे धन्यवाद देवी अच्युत बाबू को एत बढ़िया गोटे प्रोग्राम कनसीव कर भाभी पारिछंती एवं ताकू आज आनी भुवनेश्वर रे करिछंती। He needs to be thanked for that, and we all appreciate his yeoman service to the state and for in the field of education. Niranjan Babu आम समस्तंकर नमस्य। श्री सुशांत महांती, State Information Commissioner, हिमांशु बाबू, हिमांशु खटुआ महाशय, तांको मु आगुरु भी जानी, इज ए वेरी फाइन जेंटलमैन। सौम्य बाबू आम समस्तंकर प्रिय नेता भी संपादक भी, गोटे चेकर्ड कैरियर रे सी आज लाइफ रे आगे आम समस्तंकर स्टार अट्रैक्शन होती प्रभु चावला जी, जे कि cinema star to be. He is a bigger inspiration for all of us in the regional media who look up to him for his abilities and for his fearlessness and for his manner of tackling very difficult situations and more so difficult people. ଆଉ ସିଏ ଜଣେ ପୁରୁଖା ସାମ୍ବାଦିକ ସମ୍ପାଦକ, ତାଙ୍କ ବିଷୟରେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି। ଏଠି ଅଡ଼ିଏନ୍ସରେ ବହୁତ luminaries achanti, Amar Babu achanti, Somyajit Babu and many others. I'm privileged to be here. ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ମୋର stop watch टा ଟିକେ ଚଲେଇ ଦିଏ, କାରଣ 15 ମିନିଟ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ ଦିଆ ହେଇଛି। I would like to wind up before that. जो ଶବ୍ଦଟା youth, ଯୁବକ, ए युवकटा मत बहुत लोग कहले मोर आज्ञा 1 तारिख एप्रिल 1 रे जन्म। एप्रिल 1 टाकू विश्व सारा कहती विश्व बुका दिवस। से ही दिन रे मो माँ बापा डिसाइड कले मत जन्म करने को। सो मोर 66 वर्ष पूरी किरी 67 चढ़ला। से मुझे जन दी जन को कहली मुझे अरे आई एम नाउ 66 कंप्लीट, आई एम ओल्ड। से मत बोधे टे संतुष्ट करने कहले ना ना एज इज जस्ट अ नंबर, इट डजंट मीन एनीथिंग। सो मुझे भारी खुशी हो गली से भाई भारी भल कथा गोटा नंबर गुड़ाक एटा एक्चुअली मैटर कैनि। किंतु जिते आम भावुचे भी एठी बहुत यंग लोक भी अच्छा आ बहुत मैच्योर्ड भी अच्छा। मु ओल्ड क्या कहेनी। से मैच्योर्ड मध्यरु तन्मध्यरु वन ऑफ द मोस्ट मैच्योर इज निरंजन बाबू, जे केबे ओल्ड नुहे। जेबेठू जानी से गोटे सब बेले निजको रीइन्वेंट करूँ, नुआ नुआ जिनस भावती, नुआ नुआ जिनस करती। सेटा मु देखिली जीवन में, दैट इज वेरी वेरी पर्टिनेंट। इट्स नॉट हाउ ओल्ड यू आर और हाउ यंग यू आर। Are you able to handle yourself? Are you able to reinvent yourself? Are you able to find yourself as a new person every morning that you wake up? All of us would have read that you should be thankful whenever you are waking up in the morning. Earlier in my even younger age, I used to think putting an alarm, or rather आज तो कहवा दरकार अलाराम, to put on your alarm was like taking life for granted, that I am just definitely going to wake up tomorrow morning, so it's a time that I am going to control, whether it will be at 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And that was an era, And that is when we think that we are young, we can sleep late. And when you mature, then you realize that you can't sleep at all. It's difficult to sleep. We are in a country where everybody likes to sleep. It has nothing to do with age. It has nothing to do with what experiences you have, what you know, what you have learned. So, to sum up the thing, youth is, if you look at the stage, whether it is Prabhuji, whether it is Soumya Babu, Hemant Sob to age-wise be youth have, Achyuta bhi to age-wise be youth have, but those of us who consider ourselves very mature and rather put it as old, we are actually reinventing ourselves every day. Otherwise, we can't survive, we can't be in the market, you will be pushed out of the market. So, youth for me today is somebody, nothing to do with age, is somebody who finds himself as reborn, reincarnated, reinvented every morning. That is my concept of youth. And if you talk about age, today's age, if you see a person with less number of numbers, then all you see is a saffron flag on the motorbike or the scooter, and a saffron chadar, and a tika, absolute goon, and screaming some Hindi words, screaming the name of some supposedly, like we say Namaskar, they say some Jai Shri Ram or something. It has nothing to do with us because I am an Odia. For me, Jai Jagannath is a bigger concept. Jagatara Natha is a concept of universality, universe. I do not know where Jagannath was born. Nobody on earth can point a finger and say, this is the spot he was born, or this is the kingdom he ruled. He ruled the universe, not even the world, the whole universe. So we come from a place, we come from a land, Odisha is such a land, where the concept is huge, concept is universal. So when these puny little figures, these conceited, mentally deformed, undergrown people are screaming and dressing up in a particular way, I pity them because that is not the future of this country. That is not the future that we want to create for our children. We want to create a country. I would think so. And that is what, when I was in Parliament or in my public life, I have seen, even in the newspaper industry, I have seen everybody wants an atmosphere where there is peace, where there is growth, where there is prosperity. Prosperity is not limited to economic prosperity alone. It also means your mental abilities grow, your physical abilities grow. If you have a paunch, you cut that out. You are trim, you are smart, you are good looking, you are able to walk, you are able to run, you are able to perform. So when we talk of prosperity also, it is all-encompassing. It's not just having money. Money is definitely a very important part. And money, again, we have a concept for money. The name of Lakshmi is Chanchala. Chanchala is a girl, is a woman, is a female who is not happy being with one person, male or female. She wants to be with everybody. That is the concept that our forefathers thought of. It's not a god or it's not a goddess, it's a concept. And the concept, what I understand, is that you cannot hold on, you cannot hoard, you cannot be corrupt and say that I will hold on to the money. That is an old thought. The thought of the youth should be that money is meant to move. And because in our attitudes, we try to hoard, we try to keep everything together and hold it for ourselves. Therefore, we defy many a times the natural law of things that our ancestors understood very well. Now, why am I talking all this? My belief is that youth is something that is willing to accept alternative thoughts, that is willing to consider, need not necessarily live it, need not necessarily own it, need not necessarily accept it, but is willing to consider an alternative thought, is willing to consider an opinion which seemingly on the surface looks as if it is not, it doesn't stick together to what we have been made to believe. If we create an atmosphere in this country, in our society, where we can make people accept that you have to consider the other person, you need not be like him or her, you need not be accepting her views, it is not necessary at all for all 150 crore Indians to have one thought, or one God, or one language, or one uniform. That would be such a dull, drab thought. If everybody dressed up and came in the same way, it would be so boring. And that is why in Odia, amara kahanti 33 koti Thakuro Thakurani. So the idea was that you have one divinity for yourself. Every individual has a divinity. And when we accept that, that is youth. So are we really encouraging that power of youth? Are we even making our youth conscious that to change, to drive change and to build a better world or to build a better country, we have to accept this change, this, how would I put it, this thought that I am not self-contained, I am not perfect, and I have a lot to grow, I have a lot to learn. Once we can figure that out, I think that is youth for me. It is not that आपण खाली 18 वर्षर सेतिपई आपण युवक 18 वर्षरे आपण भोट देई देले आपण देशर भविष्यताकू हाथकू नहीं गले किंतु आपण निजे जानि नांती आज राति रे आपण मद पीकिरी रास्ता रु गड़ी पड़िकिरी नर्दमा भितर पड़थिबे ये होची 18 वर्षर कथा ता माने मु गोटे ब्लैंकेट कंडेम करूनी कोनोसी बयसकू मु खाली एतकी कहूँ जे से 18 वर्ष 20 वर्षटा यूथ नुहे यूथटा हूँ मो माइंड रे आम जिते आम पिला से विषय रे आम कन्विन्स करिपरिबा that there is an alternative youth. Youth is not limited to age. Then I think we will be able to create a drive for a change and we will be able to create a better world. 11 minutes helani, both speakers achanti. Thank you so much for being so patient. I do not know if I made any sense or not, but at least everybody was very patient and very quiet, and that shows the youth in all of you. And may Lord Jagannath bless you. Allah, Jesus, jiye jiye achanti, samaste apanku bless karantu. Dhanyabad, namaskar.